Hi, everyone. My name is Hache. This is the group number 1. We're going to present the Frankenstein novel by myself, Hache, Eliana Arriaga, Wandy Ferreras, Glenny Núñez, Janilza Rondon, and Angela Aracena. Mary Shelley or Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. Mary Shelley, 1797-1851, was the daughter of a philosopher whose name was William Godwin and the feminist writer Mary Wollstonecraft. Frankenstein, wrote by Mary Shelley at the age of 18 during the summer in Geneva with Percy Bysshe and Shelley. Percy Bysshe Shelley and Lord Byron. The novel was published in 1818, and this novel is considered the first true work of science fiction, blending Gothic horror with philosophical reflection on ambition, science, and responsibility. Plot narration, letters 1 to 4. Walton writes to his sister Margaret about his Arctic voyage, driven by ambition and discovery. He longs for companionship, foreshadowing his bond with Victor. The turning point is that Walton's ship rescues Victor Frankenstein, who warns him against destructive obsession. Chapters 1 to 2. Victor's idyllic childhood in Geneva with Elizabeth and Henry Clerval is developed in this novel. Early fascination with alchemy and Agrippa's occult work. Turning point, a thunderstorm and the destruction of an oak tree inspired Victor's shift toward modern science. In chapters 3 to 5, Victor's mother dies of scarlet fever, leaving him grief-stricken. At university, he studies under Professor Crimpy and Waltman. Turning point, Victor discovers the secret of life and creates the creature. The conflict is that horror at the creature appearance, leading to Victor's breakdown and illness. In chapters 6 to 8, Victor recovers with Clerval's care, but avoids science. News arrives. His younger brother, William, has been murdered. Turning point, Victor sees the creature near the crime scene and realizes it is the killer. Conflict. Justine Moritz is falsely accused and executed, deepening Victor's guilt and despair. I'm going to mention some elements of this short story, but my colleague will deepen into them. Setting from Geneva to Ingolstadt to the Arctic, contrasting domestic warmth with cold, hostile landscapes. Characters Victor Frankenstein, ambitious, obsessive, guilt ridden. The creature, intelligent, sensitive, yet rejected and vengeful. Walton, reflective, parallel to Victor. Elizabeth and Clerval, symbols of loyalty and compassion. Themes, ambition, isolation, responsibility, the danger of unchecked science, justice versus injustice, conflict, man versus nature, man versus society, man versus self, tone and mood, shift from hopeful and romantic to dark, tragic and foreboding. Symbolisms, lighting, destructive power of nature and science, the creature, symbol of human ambition and its consequences, the Arctic, isolation and pursuit of knowledge at the world's edge. Now, my colleague will continue with the presentation.
Well, now it's my turn to present the elements of the short story. If my partner can go to the next page, okay, thanks. Now I'm going to start with the central conflict. Um, Victor Frankenstein becomes deeply interested in science and the idea of creating life. His ambitions drive him into experiment beyond natural limits. After months of hard work, he finally succeeds in bringing a creature to life. However, instead of feeling proud, Victor is terrifying by what he created. That's made me think about that in the process he saw how the creature or how the creature was look like. But in this aspect, he he don't realize, but at the end was when he rejects about the creature, and this create an external conflict between Victor and the creator, and also an internal conflict with himself, as he struggled with a guilt and the fear, but avoid to take the responsibility of what he do. Next, I will continue with the characters. The character, Victor Frankenstein. He is intelligent and determined, but also reckless about he does nothing about the consequence of his actions. The creature that appear briefly in the age first uh, uh, capitals of the book, but plays a crucial role since his existence drives the conflict. Other important characters include Elizabeth, who represents cares in family, Henry Cleaver, who shows loyalty and friendships, William, who is Victor's younger brother, and Justin Morris, who becomes involved in the tragic situations. Moving on to the 10, there's one central idea instead of out the danger of uncontrolled ambitions. Victor decided for knowledge led him to a cross, but There is also the theme. There is also the theme of isolation. Victor separated himself from others during the experiment, and this isolation affected both his mentally and health and his relationship with his family. Now looking at the time and sentence, the events mainly take place in Geneva and Ingolstadt, uh, and covering his early life and his time as a student. The important event happened with relative short and focused periods, especially the creation of the creature and the immediate result of that actions. Uh, that key moments or turning point is when the creature is brought to life. This moment changes everything instead of success. Victor's experience fear and regret. And finally, that is my opinion. Uh, eh, uh, these chapters created feelings of tensions, curiosity, and sadness. Um, for readers, may feel sympathy for Victor, but also frustrated uh, because of his poor decision, the injustice of Justinian, and situation that also created that the injustice of Justinian and that situation also created an emotional impact for the readers. That was all of my presentation.
Thank you very much. Now we'll continue, my colleagues, with the pictures. Thank you very much.